Hello, welcome to this introductory to Spaces and Places, kind of your third photo assignment, and this will also include an artist lecture. So for this assignment, we're going to be inspired by landscape and interior photography, and our goal is to convey a sense of place. You can tell a story or emotion or feeling with your photography. Your photograph should have little to no people within the frame, so it shouldn't be about the animal or the person. If there are in the frame, it should be at the place. So, rule of thumb, if your focal point doesn't relate to the place, then it probably isn't a good photograph for the project. Think about place, not persons, animals, or things. You should try to stick to a single place or a single type of place. Go outside, go inside. Use this as an opportunity to explore areas around you or areas that you're not familiar with. Your home or bedroom is probably not going to be a visually compelling subject for this assignment. Real estate photographs are also not a good choice. So if you are trying to take those kind of photographs, that will not fit this assignment bill. Use this as a chance to explore something new and think about how you can affect mood or emotion within your photographs without including people. It might help to make a single theme of your photographs. Maybe all of the places relate, or the pictures you're exploring are of a singular place. They need to work together as a group, not as single images, so keep that in mind. All your photographs must be new. You cannot use any previously taken photographs. You should shoot at least 46 exposures for this assignment. Should be a lot more than that. And you need to edit down to 10 photographs. Again, you're picking your 10 favorite photographs that work together in the overall theme of spaces or places. They should be at least 300 dpi and no smaller than 8 by 10 inches. Again, you're not going to try to conform it to that size. It just can't be smaller in it. So if it's like 8 by 12, that's fine. 8 by 14, perfect. If it's 14 by 50, it's a weird photograph, but sure, that will fit the bill. And there is naming conventions, and remember, you have to use EXIF data, and I want to check to see how they're shot in manual mode. All right. So we're going to get started with this artist lecture. And I want you to kind of think about all of your reflections in the discussion boards leading up to this assignment, because that's really going to help you inform your idea of spaces and places. Therefore, the places in which we've experienced daydreaming reconstitute themselves in a new daydream. And it's because the memories of former dwelling places are relived as daydreams. These dwelling places of the past remain in us for all time. So we're going to look at Amanda Taves. So she kind of explores estate sales. So an estate sale is kind of like a garage sale, selling everything. And she goes in there interested in this space. A lot of time people will do estate sales after someone's passed or someone has fallen ill, and that's usually when an estate sale will occur. So these are very intimate encounters in the space. There's sort of this loneliness. And she kind of looks at the windows, so the interior and exterior are definitely in play here. And this exposure-wise might be a little more complicated because the exterior is going to have a different exposure than your interior. So taking as many exposures as possible and maybe even using the adjustment brush is going to be really key. They're sort of sincere and honest, these photographs. And you think about who's lived there, the life that they once lived, and how the space kind of remains there, sort of as a monument to somebody. Alex Lem. So these are another sort of explorations of spaces and places, looking at a library in different shots. Suburbia fails us. It's an idea of a place rather than a place. The way you can tell it is because so many places like this country seem like no place in particular. Linda Kuhn. So she's exploring suburbia and sort of these like empty storefronts. Places that once were. Places that are being taken over by gentrification. The house that has been experienced is not an inert box. Inhabited space transcends geometrical space. Victoria Hogan. So she's looking at the sort of suburban homes and their yards. So we're looking at this exterior space. And think about light. So this is before our light lecture, but this is sort of this gorgeous sort of light that she's really playing with and capturing time. And it's about this place, these sort of older suburban homes, their wild yards. To the complaint, there are no people in these photographs. I respond, there are always two people, the photographer and the viewer. Elliot Dunkick. This is Paradise Road. So he's looking kind of at the economic collapse of 2008, which could be similar to what we may be facing. The promise of America through discovery, through colonization, and the ultimate emergence of the United States. And this idea that it's been promised of paradise. The dream of riches, freedoms, and fulfillment is really kind of within his photographs. And he's sort of looking at this American dream with these photographs. So this is the theme of the place, not the same place, but this is the same type of place, the same theme, which is connecting all of these landscapes together, these sort of modern landscapes. If it's not down in a map, it is not down in any map. True places never are. David Kressler. So this is sort of at these viewpoints. So if you've traveled, you know you can kind of see a scenic view and you can pull off and kind of look at something. So if you are wanting to get out of the house and travel, this could be inspiration. So it's not necessarily about this beautiful place, but it's about these sort of man-made constructions of saying, this is the best place to look at. This is where you're going to look and what we've decided for you. It's sort of a safety viewing, but someone's already determined to be beautiful. So you think about who's made this the place to look. What parameters did they ask to make this the place for these viewpoints. Places matter. Their rules, their scale, their design include or exclude civil society, pedestrianism, equality, diversity, economic and otherwise, an understanding of where water comes from and garbage goes, consumption or conservation. They map our lives. Ihsan Barati. So his work looks at landscapes and in urban environments, which he kind of looks at the subject and sort of looks at abstraction. So this is sort of his urban landscape of Tehran, looking at form and construction and composition within these landscapes. Amanda Bow. So she looks at light, loss, and dignity within her work. So she's looking to be home with these objects, these landscapes, in these sort of left behind places. So she's looking at this very poetically. It's not just a place with these palm trees where we have these steps leading up to somewhere. It's about once was. There's sort of the sadness, these interior and exterior shots of this area, things that are discarded. It's very nice. I look at the rooms that I do not see as rooms, but more as landscapes for my emotions. A biography of memory. Sarah Malakoff. So she's looking, makes this, her work's almost cinematic. You feel like something's going to happen in these sort of interior shots. It's where things are placed. This chair's waiting to be sat on in this room. What happens in this room. So light is very key. Again, we'll talk about lighting later, but having your photo well lit and these mix of really sort of high contrast light gives this drama that's going on. And drama can definitely happen without people, I promise. And these are sort of obscure places as well. All right. These are sort of interior shots of a domestic space. Just looking at sort of the subtlety, taking this large room and breaking it up into smaller pieces. So we'll look at some student work. So students have done this assignment exploring spaces and places and thinking about framing their composition, sharing somewhere that they know or don't know. What clues can we give to this place? What stories? What secrets does it hold? Thinking about composition and leading lines and contrast. Places that let us in, but also keep us out. Places that are warm, places that are cold. Places that are vibrant. Domestic places. Using framing. My fiance talking to our dog. The dog wants to be in here. He wants to explore this space and place. Discarded places. Illuminated places. Open places. So I really hope you have fun exploring spaces and places. Think of all of your other discussions that led up to this. Look at these images. There'll be another artist lecture too. And make sure you do your artist inspiration based on spaces and places so you can kind of formulate what you would like to do. I hope you enjoyed.